what this project that we're working on is a collaboration between our friends Direct Dimensions, who are industry leaders in 3D scanning technology, Massivit, and ourselves. The guys at Direct Dimensions have an impressive resume of film and movie credits. They've done the Marvel movies, they've done Ready Player One, they scanned the DeLorean for use in Ready Player One. They exhibit at a show called Rapid that's this year out in LA. They have a Hollywood showcase area, and we teamed up and said, hey, listen, why don't we all collaborate and make a piece that's gonna go into the Hollywood showcase. We decided we were gonna do the DeLorean that they scanned for Ready Player One, and now we are taking their 3D assets from that scan process, cutting it up and turning it into a photo moment to take out to Los Angeles. We have only got about 2 weeks to get this project complete.
We are doing a combination with Direct Dimensions for the Rapid show in Los Angeles coming up, with us here at Hatch, and with Massivit, and we're going to print out a sort of a photo op version of the Back to the Future DeLorean. I know that they've done a lot of scanning work and a lot of computer VFX work for Hollywood and a lot of big name companies. I knew that they did the scanning of the original DeLorean hero car to put in the movie Ready Player One. So if you've seen that, it's a digital copy that's in that movie. And I know that they've helped us out by giving us scans of that car so that we can use it to print off our version of the DeLorean for the Rapid show. It's an additive manufacturing show, so it's where companies come over from all over the world to show off the latest and greatest in additive manufacturing technologies, which can be 3D printing or technologies that are very similar to that. Right now we're running Massivit 5000, and it's a dual head, dual material, additive manufacturing 3D printer. Runs on its own proprietary material, which is known as diamond gel. It's of a toothpaste-like consistency, and it's UV cured. So it'll lay down a layer out of an extruder nozzle, and it'll cure it with the UV lights right there at the nozzle, so it'll cure it instantly. So as soon as the extruder goes down and lays down one layer, it's cured immediately. So it's very, very fast. And it can go very high fidelity or very low fidelity. So you can print fat lines real fast, or you can print very fine detailed lines a little bit slower, but it's still pretty fast for what it does. And the volume of it is roughly 5 feet by 5 feet by 6 feet. 2 adults can stand in it and have a conversation comfortably. That's how big the Massivit is. From start to finish, we've got about 2 weeks to get this entire project done. If this was being printed on traditional 3D printers, there's no way we would make it at this scale in time, but because of the speed of the Massivit, it makes projects like this very possible.
And fun?
Oh, absolutely. We're gonna print the life-size DeLorean from Back to the Future. Of course it's fun. So a project like this DeLorean, so we're gonna do like a half car. So it's just like one side, it's the drive side of the car, so that the guests can come around from the other side and they can sit down in the seat, have their picture taken in it like they're driving the car. There's gotta be at least 200 individual pieces that are part of this car that are going to be put together by the masters in the shop. There's going to be a lot of sanding, a lot of body work, a lot of finishing. The good thing about the Massivit is that the diamond gel sands very quickly, very easily. So it can be body shot very smooth. Depending on the applications, we might need to use some sort of Bondo or body filler, or we can use the diamond gel itself as an additive material. And whenever anything comes off the Massivit, it has supports on it just like any of your traditional 3D printers. The supports come off really easily. They can be trimmed off with any type of power tool. Sometimes they can snap right off. And then they just get sanded down and they're ready to go back over for traditional finishing. The structural nature of anything that's out there, sometimes pieces lend itself to needing something that's a little bit more structural than just plastic, and that's in any endeavor. So sometimes you need wood, sometimes you need steel, sometimes you need an aluminum frame. And the particular instance of trade show displays in general, wood is a very common material to use as a base, and then you can clad your 3D printed or whatever material onto the wood. It's very lightweight, it's very cost effective, it's very durable, it's very easy to transport. And most of the time when you put wood in there, it's not going to be seen. It's going to be covered by something else. Could you 3D print the material? In a lot of cases, yes. Is it cost effective to do so? If you're not going to see it, it's not really necessary.
Heading into the shop. I'm gonna go check out the DeLorean, see if she's time travel worthy. Oh yeah, look at that. That's a good looking door right there. Train's knocking some holes in the bottom of the door right now. He's gonna fill it with foam. It's already been given a rough sand. Chris over there curing up some of the diamond gel that he's gonna put on there, and he's gonna put on some resin and give it a couple coats of resin. Cure that up, and then it's gonna sand it down and gonna continue on our way. You're gonna see less of it together before you see more of it together. Because right now they're gonna dry fit the door, and he's gonna put the, you can see he's got some rods in here. So he drilled the holes for the rods, and now we're gonna use that to station the door. So you're gonna see it dry fitted all together. Then you're gonna see it all taken apart and go into paint. And it'll be painted separately. Then it'll be put back together. Looking good, fellas, looking good. Today is all about body work.
Clearly the mass of it is the heavy hitter here on the DeLorean project. It's printing all the big parts, the doors, the body, everything. But we have a myriad of tiny, small resin filament printers going here. I've got an entire farm of bamboo printers. I've got some Anycubic monos. I've got some frozens. We've got at least 11 other printers, some raised 3Ds, several smaller 3D printers that are running non-stop for 14 days, just printing every little bit and bobble of the DeLorean. We've got the flux capacitor, the time and date machine, the time circuits, any little bit and greebly and doodad you can think of is being printed on these tiny little printers, and it's going non-stop. The shop guys are busy trimming, cutting, and sanding all the little parts. Replacement on the DeLorean. This is the iconic flux capacitor, is what makes time travel possible. And what you see here is the seal It printed off in about 6 hours, took it off the plate, put it in the wash bay, which is full of isopropyl alcohol, took it out of the wash bay, and then we put it under the UV curing lights. We've got some of our larger pieces in the paint booth right now. They're being hit with primer, they're being hit with another round of sanding. So we're well on our way.
Standing on my toilet, hanging the clock, and I slipped, and I hit my head, and I came up with a vision of this. The flux capacitor.